And in our final report, we turn to the Middle East. On Saturday, Israel launched intense airstrikes on Iran. Explosions illuminated the skies over Tehran as Israeli fighter jets took out Iran's missile production and air defense capabilities. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu praised the strikes while Iran's Supreme Leader warned of a bigger response. Here's more on how an all-out war between Iran and Israel could shape the U.S. presidential election.
In the early hours of Saturday, Israel launched a calculated and intense series of airstrikes on Iran. Several reports of explosions were followed by flashes of light and the distant rumble of detonations.
I mean, we need to get a message through. We can't keep getting those missiles fired to Israel, and we have to retaliate. So I think it was a good action.
If by strike, you mean these shots and firecrackers last night, which did not wake up anyone in Tehran, if this is your power, then woe to you.
The Israeli Defense Forces confirmed that its jets and drones executed precise strikes, which struck at least 20 strategic sites, including missile manufacturing plants, surface-to-air missile defenses, and other military installations in Tehran and provinces like Khuzestan and Elam.
Well, it does really open up a Pandora's box. We have to wait and see how the Iranians respond. At the moment, they are downplaying the extent of damage. They are talking up their anti-air defense system, saying it was successful in deterring and aborting the attack. But it really remains to be seen how the authorities in Iran feel about the extent of the damage and whether they feel the need and the urgency to respond yet again with another round of missiles towards Israel.
In Tel Aviv, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Yoav Gallant were closely following the operation from the IDF's command and control center. By dawn, after 3 waves of strikes and nearly 3 hours, the IDF announced the conclusion of the operation.
I can now confirm that we have concluded the Israeli response to Iran's attack against Israel. We conducted targeted and precise strikes on military targets in Iran, thwarting immediate threats to the state of Israel.
Netanyahu praised the airstrikes as precise and powerful, declaring that they had inflicted several damage to Iran's missile production capabilities.
We hit hard Iran's defense capabilities and its ability to produce missiles that are aimed at us. The attack in Iran was precise and powerful and achieved all of its objectives.
Meanwhile, in Iran, the response was more subdued yet defiant. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei urged Iranian officials to consider the most effective way to demonstrate Iran's strength to Israel. He advised them not to rush into an exaggerated response, but to weigh what was best for the country and its people.
They made a mistake. They, of course, exaggerated it. Their exaggeration is wrong, but note that downplaying it is also wrong. Saying, no, there was nothing, it wasn't important, and this is also wrong. The condition of the work should be determined by the officials, and that which is in the best interest of the people and the country should take place.
The Iranian military reported limited damage, claiming to have intercepted several projectiles, but acknowledged the loss of 4 soldiers. The United States was aware of the planned strikes. Just before the operation commenced, President Joe Biden's administration urged Israel to keep its response targeted and proportional and avoid critical targets like Iran's oil infrastructure and nuclear facilities.
Mr. President, did you get a heads up from Israel on the Iran strike? Did you get any heads up?
Yes. I was on with the intelligence community for the last half hour, 3.5 hours. And it looks like they didn't hit anything other than military targets. My hope is this is the end.
However, several photos showed Israel hit Iran's former nuclear weapons test building. And with attacks on missile production sites near Tehran, a former UN weapons inspector noted that the Israeli strikes may have significantly hampered Iran's ability to mass-produce missiles. As tensions rise, the situation remains on a knife's edge, with the threat of broader conflict simmering. The United States is on the cusp of an election, and how American foreign policy might shift could impact the volatile balance in the Middle East. Will Washington stand firm or pivot as the White House prepares for a change in leadership?
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election. Explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained. Every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.